The 19th International AIDS Conference is honored to welcome the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Kgalema Motlanthe.
I wish to thank the organizers for inviting me to this 19th International AIDS Conference that aims to help all of us find better ways and means of responding to the HIV pandemic. I would also like to express gratitude to the government and people of the United States of America for graciously hosting this conference and for their generous contribution to the fight against HIV through the President's Emergency Program for AIDS Relief and their contributions to the Global Fund for AIDS, TB, and malaria. The magnitude of this gathering shows that HIV pandemic remains one of humanity's greatest challenges, requiring a common front and commitment from all of us, as demonstrated by thousands of delegates representing people living with HIV, health workers, scientists, philanthropists, volunteers, and many others. It is such commitment, solidarity, and collective strength that will help us realize the theme of this 19th International AIDS Conference, namely, turning the tide together. Acknowledging that sub-Saharan Africa remains the epicenter of the pandemic, and further acknowledging the multi-dimensional nature of the pandemic and the social determinants driving it, the African Union has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthen the response on the continent through the adoption of and the implementation of the AU roadmap. The roadmap will explore a set of practical African resourced solutions for enhancing shared responsibility and global solidarity for AIDS, TB, and malaria responses in Africa on a sustainable basis by 2015. It will focus on three strategic pillars, that is, diversified financing, access to medicines, and enhanced health governance. This landmark development demonstrates our commitment as Africans to scale up our collective efforts. Since South Africa is the country with the largest number of people living with HIV in the world and the largest country in the most affected region, the global fight against HIV and AIDS cannot be won without success in South Africa. In recent times, the efforts that we have made with support from development partners are starting to bear fruits, as evidenced by some of the successes we have seen over the last few years. Among such achievements are the following. We have 1.7 million people on treatment. 20 million people have been tested for HIV during a year-long testing campaign. The rate of mother-to-child transmission has dropped from 8% in 2008 to 3.5% in 2010 and to 2.7% in 2011. These achievements are integral to the overall success story of Africa as elaborated in the latest UN AIDS Global Report. Indeed, we have achieved successes and great strides in the fight against HIV and AIDS over the last 2 decades. Yet, these successes must neither distract us nor make us complacent. More importantly, this is not the time to reduce our contribution to the fight against HIV and AIDS. We are still faced with many challenges as we move from the emergency phase of our response to a phase of consolidation, scaling up and sustaining a multi-sectoral approach with a strengthened health system. This consolidation phase requires a new approach, a new paradigm underpinned by, among others, the principles of global solidarity, mutual accountability, and transparency. To give effect to these principles stated above, we need better coordination of the global health architecture, predictable, sustainable financing for HIV response, good governance and oversight with regard to appropriate use of resources, decisive action in dealing with the social determinants of health, and legal frameworks which are responsive to the human rights ethos. Ladies and gentlemen, science is making great strides in coming up with new innovation in treatment and prevention. The question is how countries can be assisted to rapidly integrate and implement new innovations into their programs in a sustainable manner. I trust that as we deliberate on the wide range of issues exposed by the HIV pandemic, we will be invigorated by the successes and the progress we have made to date, bearing in mind that we can neither slow down nor be complacent. The war is not yet over. We cannot declare victory yet. We are only just beginning to turn the tide. A comprehensive, robust, decisive, and sustainable response to HIV is like climbing a mountain. 20 years ago, we were at the foot of the mountain. Our collective efforts, resilience, and determination have brought us to within inches of the summit of the mountain. We dare not slide back. We take this opportunity to thank all the health providers at the coalface of this pandemic, hoping that they will be encouraged by the emerging successes. We count on civil society as strategic stakeholders to continue to keep governments accountable to the commitments they have made. We urge the development partners, including foundations and philanthropists, investors, to maintain their investments in our efforts to turn the tide. We look forward to concerted efforts by all partners to work with the African Union and its members to implement this roadmap to ensure a sustainable response to HIV, TB, and malaria. And lastly, we have journeyed together through years of ignorance, confusion, and despair, but also resolve, hope, and some spectacular results. A future of zero new infections, zero discrimination, zero AIDS-related deaths, and zero new infections due to vertical transmission is within tantalizing reach. Let us reach it together. And I thank you for your attention.